Good evening, guys. Good evening. Sound check, sound check. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Comments below, guys. Comments below. Can you hear me? Happy Monday, happy Monday. Sound check, sound check. Mwaise ni mukwai. Ala nalishua. Thank you. Mwaise ni mutozi chwangi. Mwachoma bwanji. Mwakala bwanji. Molibi Habuti. Today is a special day, guys. I have our honorable MP for Lumezi, our uprising, powerful youth, representing the youth. He's here, guys. He agreed to feature on our show. So we are very, very excited, guys. He'll be coming on. Tuposhanye Mkwai will be here. Mama Matipa and I will be co-hosting, and Mama Chika Monica will be translating. Welcome, guys. Welcome. One Lumezi, yes. Chris Kawangu, I see you. Send me your location. Prince, yes. Thank you. Comments below, guys. Emmanuel, I see you. Comments. Where are you watching from? Itananani. Amutahe, Gamubola. Get your water. I'm drinking tea. I am drinking lemon ginger tea, guys. Alex Mapengo, I see you. Welcome, guys. We managed to bring our young gallant son of the soil, Mr. Honorable Munir Zulu is in the view. We are excited. Our honorable, young, vibrant, gallant, patriotic Munir Zulu, Honorable Lumezi MP, is in the house. Comments below, guys. Tomaida, I see you. Tuposhanye, at least tufike ko nangu 50. But guys, to fish for 50 or maybe 100 so that we are all on the same page. Share, guys. Share. Abena mufurila na bafika kale munche ndi abena Lusaka. Abena Kasama. One Zambia, one nation, one tribe, guys. We are one. Stand and sing of Zambia. Proud and free. Yes, guys, we are free. We are living in a democratic country. We have a freedom of speech. Do not be intimidated. Do not be violated. Do not be shut to silence, guys. This is your country, Bayuthi. Chalo chenu Bayuthi. Celebrate. The future is coming, guys. The future is coming and it's going to be bright. And the future is only going to be bright if we stand up for our rights, guys. Bayuthi chalo chenwichi. You are 70% of the population in Zambia, Bayuthi. They should not silence you. They should not take away your birthright. I am here as your mother, your aunt, your sister, to be your voice, to stand up and claim your birthright, to stand up and stop the selling of our country piece by piece. Bayuthi, I am your mother, I'm your sister, I'm your auntie, I'm your mouthpiece. We'll be here, we'll be talking until things are fixed in Zambia. Yes, that is my passion. That is me, Pumulos Tumbeko. That is my name. If you don't know me, I'm a certified human rights consultant with the United States Institute of Diplomacy. It's an organization which is based here in Washington, D.C. Yes, Abena Kaoma Munchende, Western Province. Share, guys. Eastern, Abena Eastern, na bafika kale. Na bafika kale, Abena Eastern. Guys, welcome. Share. Now, we just greeting each other. Patulelo le labantu bengile vese from Solwezi, Northwest, and in the Bubu. Guys, the only thing you can do is to share. Make sure you share at least with one person or 2 people or 5 people. It's up to you. We have to spread the word around. We have to spread the word of democracy. We have to spread the word of freedom of speech. At the moment, the country is we are on the border we are on the border of being a dictator because they are hired, praise singers or cultists have been hired to monitor people and their activities on the internet. And if you make even one negative comment against what is happening, your name is reported and you are put on a blacklist. If you go to look for a government job, they will not hire you because you expressed your freedom of speech. That is illegal. All you people who are being paid to report, to work against the democracy which our forefathers stood for, you will pay one day. We are not going to condone poor youth being pit against each other, reporting each other for people expressing their democracy. Zambia is a signatory to the Human Rights Declaration of Human Rights. We have a commission there in Lusaka. Let people exercise their freedom of speech, association, and affiliation. Abena Kansama Munchende, Abena Ndola, that's my town. Welcome, guys. Mama Chichi is here. Curfew, where Abena curfew and I'm with Sakale. And Nick Matipa, I see you watching. Yes. Welcome, guys. To Poshanye. I'm just going to read human rights number 19. Human rights number 19, freedom of opinion and expression. Everyone has a right of freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, impart information and ideas through any media, regardless of frontiers. Hi, Mama. Welcome, Mama.
Eri bonse mkwaina miposha musta ya chungulo na timwa pole nyakuri lyo mushi kwena inganda ya mafunde ya kwa mama Queen Mpumi, mama Matipa, mama Chikamoneka kwena uyu mushi wa ya ule kula elo uyu mushi kwena wakula mulishani bonse mwe baisa munganda ya mafunde munganda ya kwa mama Chikamoneka nabo wansansa sana ba nalibo wansansa. Hello Madam Matipa.
Hello, everybody.
Kanshina chila soso kutila twatotela sana ukukwata abana bengi munganda ya mafunde nabale ibimba kuli iyi program ya kwa mama Queen Mpumi na mama Matipa na mama Chikamoneka munganda ya mafunde. Inganda na ileta abana from different provinces. Inganda no mbata tuwalanda tini Africa. Ingande ni international. Filiatu alimu Africa na tufuma. Tulipa international. Because abana besu bale supporta sana uyu mulimo diaspora. Tuletotera ku bana besu aba diaspora tumwabombeni. Pantu mwishi wakutira mulima chona ili mukachononoka mukabwerera muchawo chenu. Emota mwakatemo kuleta abana benu bakese mukupepe bange bakese mukunwa kankra mbozi na rutuku abana bakese onaika kashina mubomba sana kusatontonkani okutira tubwelele kuchawo chesu making sure okutira bushe ichawo chesu chirendera pesa bushe ichawo chesu abantu besu baleria bushe abantu besu balefwala bushe abantu besu bakwata omuti bushe abantu besu bakwata bandi apa kwikala bushe abantu besu balefimbana fintu ifingi ifyalengo okutira abana besu muchawo cha diaspora mufialo fya diaspora bakwate okusakamana na pali icho na gwesha fye umuchishu kalamba sana kuli ba honorable wesu o batite invite munganda ya mafunde ba Munir Zulu na besa tuli na bena mwaiseni kaili mwapoleni mwentungu mshimba mpandamano mwaiseni munganda ya mafunde kanshi muri inganda ya mafunde mwali bana mama Chikamoneka ulanda fye chibemba cheka ero mwabana balande chisungu kanshi nga mwalande chisungu inene kulalondolola ba honorable mwibaba sakamana pakutila na bonsi bali abashumfwa ichisungu na bonsi bali abashayishi bokulanda ichisungu bakwate okula umfa fyesefe mwakulalanda na totera mkwali.
Thank you. We would like to welcome our honorable Munir Zulu, MP Lumezi. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come and chat with us about matters concerning national interest. Before we can proceed, you can welcome the viewers. Honorable Zulu.
Thank you, very kind, Madam Kumi. And
You sound
for having
very far. You sound faint.
Is that so?
Yes.
Is that so? I'm extremely grateful for the invite from yourself, Madam Matipa, Mama Chikamoneka, and let me say good evening, viewers, and good evening to yourself.
Thank you so much. So you still sound faint. I don't know, maybe it's the earpiece.
I was trying to avoid the earpiece, but these colleagues I'm with insisted I use headsets. Am I audible enough?
You are, maybe bring the phone closer or the volume on your phone. You sound very low.
Okay. Are you able to get me now?
We can get you, but you are very low. You sound like you are far away.
Are you able to get me now?
Yes, we are getting you, but the volume is low. So maybe you can speak up.
Okay, let's do this. Let me try to unplug the headsets.
Okay, then Mama Chipa, you can welcome the guests while our honorable is getting situated.
Thank you very much, Queenie Pumi. Greetings again. Greetings, Mama Maria. Our fellow followers, it is with great honor and pleasure to have Honorable Munir Zulu with us today. Remember, we had a discussion about Honorable Munir Zulu. We received a lot of comments and we received a lot of queries about Honorable Munir Zulu, and we promised you that we will bring Honorable Munir Zulu to this program. And today is that day. We hope we'll be able to interact positively, and we'll be able to educate our viewers on issues affecting the nation, as well as what Honorable Munir Zulu has experienced in his journey of being a member of parliament. Once again, Honorable Munir, welcome to the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So before we get started, welcome viewers. I see the number is growing. We are just asking you to share this broadcast. We are asking you to share this broadcast because we are featuring, I think, one of the youngest members of parliament in Zambian history. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. So our honorable here is a trendsetter. He is a trailblazer. So that's why, for me, I really wanted to come here and talk to him so that we can ask him questions about his career and what is going on in parliament, and just a general overview of matters of national interest. Now, I just want to just give you a brief of how we are going to proceed this interview today. Madam Matipa and I are co-hosts. So we'll be asking our honorable, we'll be alternating asking him questions. And then Mama Chikamoneka is the translator. We have 11 questions, and then after the end of the questions, we'll open it up for you guests to come in and ask him questions. So the first thing I want to do is just to appreciate you. Honorable Zulu, you are a trailblazer. Your presence in the parliament is the face of the Zambian parliament in 2026. I am actually appealing to all the youth today to look at Munir and aspire to be like him. Do not look at his personality or all the other things that are happening to him surrounding his presence. I give you credit, I give you respect. I honor your mother who raised such a son to stand in parliament despite all the prosecutions. You are there, you are standing. And this is what I want all youth to be like you, to throw away fear, to stand for something, die for something, Stand for Mother Zambia by youth. Look at your friend here. In 2026, that's the parliament we want to see. I want to see a parliament of 100% youth. Start marking your territories by youth. Start marking your territories. Let us move Zambia forward. There is no way in a country where 70% of the population, they are youth under 25 years of age. 90% of the parliamentaries, they are all people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. It is wrong. The scale doesn't add up. The scale doesn't balance. That is why we are in a bind, because we have people who are in a different age group trying to make decisions for people who are 5, 6 generations behind. So, Munir Zulu, Honorable, sorry, you are my son. So excuse me if I missed to say son.
No, it's fine.
If I don't say honorable, just forgive me. You are my son. I look at you as my son, and I am so proud right now. So to get started, give us a brief history of yourself, and then we'll start with the first question. Go ahead, madam.
Before the honorable, yes, before the honorable Honorable Munir Zulu tabala isa mkwai ukutibenga tampo kulanda na bena Zambia ndefo kulondolola epo tulelo lela namba viewers abengi ndefa yo kulondolola utuma shumi mwasupa wila papene pakutira na bali abanensi bonse bashumfwa ichi nkuba ule na witsungu ichitali nechipi na bena bakwate molu bali kanchi na lalondolola amashiwi ba Munir Zulu ba honorable wesu na lalondolola amashiwi ayalanda bakwini mpumi kutila baba bansansa sana pa bushikuwa lelo kabili ukutotela pakalambanga nshi ukumikwata pali platform kutila mwingalanda ko amashiwi aya kuishiba FH chalo chelfi cha Zambia chilenda nangu ifyo mulebo mba mbya munganda ya mafunde elo kabili bakwini mpumi basoso kutila chali bechawa masana kumweo wabo bali babansansa sana okumono kutila ba honorable Zulu ni mwemu abafye umunono nangula umwa iche sana mbya munganda ya mafunde umwa fulafye abakalamba beka kanshina pali ichi bakwini mpumi basoso kutila ichi chali bakwati chilangiriro kubana kukula mchalo cha Zambia kutila amwe bana kukula bonse pantu imiti kula empanga kanshi bakoseresha imiti kula mchalo cha Zambia bakwini mpumi ukutila mwe miti kula bonse mumone example kuli ba Munir Zulu abasha kwato mwenso na ngupa nono baisa isanga mugwa iche wabo munganda ya mafunde elo kana pali ichi bakwini mpumi batotela abafyala Munir Zulu ukutila mayo mwa bombeni pakumwana uwakwata big heart pantu te bonse abana mchalo cha Zambia abenga kwato mutima uwakwata ba Munir Zulu elo kabiri bakoseresha na kabiri ba yusi kutila poseni insoni kabiri beni abakosa ba yusi mchalo cha Zambia pakutila iyi myaka ineisa iyo twala kwata ma elections munganda ya mafunde tulefayo kwata ba yusi abengi ukutilo kwata bakote abengi munganda ya mafunde kanshi na pali ichi ba Munir Zulu na ile wine mwanaka pamona ba mama matipa tulia bansansa sana ukumimona ngefyo ngamona na posa no luseko ulusumanga nchi na totela mkwai.
Honorable Zulu, the floor is yours. Just a brief introduction of yourself and how you started politics before we go to the first question.
Madam Pumi, I would want us to be as social as we can as we do this interaction in the first place. And I want to assure my mother, Mama Chikamoneka, on this interview, I can guarantee you, Sharande Paliashi Amaso. Sharande Puyo. So I think with this laughter now, we are good to have a good conversation.
natemwa sana mbuya.
Natotera mkwai. You see, I started my political journey from school. I think at the age of 25, I became a member of parliament. A member of the Students' Union as president at NIPA. That was in 2009. And you can imagine going into NIPA as a fresher and defeating the old-timers to be elected as president. And then 10 years down the line, I'm elected member of parliament in Lumezi constituency on the eastern side of Zambia. There is no secret to what I have achieved. It's determination and willing to prove my critics wrong. I believe in my own ideals, and I'm not swayed by other people's opinion. Whether they think their opinion is right, mine is wrong, that does not move me, because for me, I deal with convictions. When I'm convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that I'm doing the right thing, there is nothing that can stop me. I've heard a lot of people saying, think outside the box. Just remove the box. You don't need to be in the box. Just break the box and believe in yourself. But one thing I've seen wrong with my fellow young people is that they do things to impress other people against their own conviction. I trust my instincts. When I'm not certain, I don't make a decision. I love to make decisions, because failing to make a decision is also a decision, but a bad one. So I love to make decisions. The first born child of Mr. Zulu, by the way. I'm not the last born, I am the first born. And sometimes they also treat me as if I'm their last born, unfortunately. So it is what it is. But one thing now, going to national matters, I must confess that the country is sick. The country is toxic. The UPND government gave the Zambian youths a blank check with insufficient funds. They gave the Zambian youths a blank check with insufficient funds. You don't fix something that is not broken. I speak out.
Okay, we have lost our honorable. We have lost our honorable, but he will be back, hopefully. So let me...
Defo kusasha video na isamkwai na labwela sasha video.
Okay, our honorable is coming back. He lost signal, so he's joining us shortly. So before he left, he was just talking that in life he likes to make decisions, and that the UPND gave us a blank check. I would just like to bounce off what he said about decision making. When you make a decision, it means you are in control. And I love that you are able to do that. Because if people make decisions for you, then they are controlling you. But I love that you mentioned the fact that you are a decision maker, which means you are a leader. You control things and you don't allow people to control you. You can go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Kumi. I think I had some network hit where I am. But my point was the country is unwell, the country is toxic, and then I'll be betraying my conscience by keeping quiet when wrong things are being done. This is a government that promised the Zambian people the rule of law. This is a government that promised the Zambian youth jobs. This is a government that said they'll fix it. What they did not tell the Zambian people is what is it that they're coming to fix. It was just Bansi will fix it. What is it that you're fixing? I remember very well during my campaigns in Lumezi.
I think network, honorable Yashupa Kopa, no.
We can hear him. Maybe we can hear him. Network.
Are we together?
Yes, continue. I think she has a problem with her network, yes.
I remember I ran my personal campaign in Lumezi because I know that Lumezi has water challenges. Number one. So I said when elected, I'll sort out the water challenges because that is a problem. But you cannot tell the entire population that I'll fix it. What is it that you are fixing? Are you fixing the Zambian youths? Are you fixing the miners? Are you fixing the contractors? Who are you fixing? This was never taught. So me speaking out is not that I love controversy, but I made a decision to stand up for the oppressed. And this decision is something I'm proud about. I'm not going to change my decision to stand with the oppressed just because I'll be promised gold and silver on earth. That I'll not do. The challenge we have now is people are not sincere. They aren't sincere. They are not willing to get back to the people and tell the people to say, look, what we promised is unattainable. What we promised, walls in opposition, is not what we found inside. I think leadership demands that we take responsibility of our actions and the decisions we make. So our colleagues that are in government today have made a lot of mistakes. Mistake number one is that they have not healed that they're ruling class. Number two, there is a lot of pride in them that they claim, or maybe that they are the iota of wisdom. They cannot be advised. They know everything. Just last week, we were looking at the sale of the gas stream. Zambian people, if today you accuse me of having stolen a vehicle, a simple vehicle, from my mothers, you three mothers there, the police will not sell that vehicle until the matter is disposed of in a competent court of law. You don't sell an exhibit. So how possible is it that the matter is under investigation? You want to sell the plane. How do you sell an exhibit? That should be your evidence before the courts. Number two, who is having the blue book of that gas stream? Is the gas stream in the hands of the Zambian government, or is the blue book with the manufacturer because the Zambian government has not completely paid off for that aircraft? Is that the rule of law? When you speak out, is controversial. But these are genuine questions that people need to know. Is the blue book in the hands of the Zambian government? Or is the blue book still with the manufacturers? Then, has the manufacturer authorized you to sell that jet with all the security features without their express permission? Are we putting all that into perspective? Whose interest are we saving? Is the question. We cannot say, no,
we made the laws, and then you create a narrative that J music is just a music system as if it's in the car. Come on, guys, we've got to be beyond reproach as a people. So our friends would have started to listen more, and then wait for the Zambian people. That is one of the reasons some of us talk. I go into Lumezi. I'll be in Lumezi for Christmas. I'll be in Lumezi for my New Year. People asking me, fertilizer is supposed to be at 250 kwacha. Before we look at the cost of it, the commodity is not on the market. Remember, this is a government that stopped the procurement system at Ministry of Health, saying that doing investigations. We are not against investigations. Do your investigations, but don't stop the procurement, because you are losing lives. You stop procurement of essential drugs. You stop issuance of mine licenses because you are investigating. The damage done in 1 year, you cannot repair it in 3-4 years. Our country is sick, and it needs doctors right now. If those doctors are going to be political citizens, let those doctors raise to the equation and be a solution, because without doctors to sort out our political difficulties and challenges, we'll all be in the ICU.
So thank you, Honorable. I think I'll take it up from there and just want to do a recap on what you've talked about. So I think I think there's a feeling on the ground that this government is a know-it-all government. They don't want advice. But you cannot be a know-it-all government in a democracy. You were elected by the people for the people. Whatever decisions are supposed to be made, you are supposed to consult the Zambians. And the mode of consultation is through members of parliament who represent the masses. Now we are seeing where this government is bulldozing decisions. We saw last week a MOU was signed, a memorandum of understanding was signed on behalf of Zambia with the US government. We don't know the contents of that MOU. And I have received many requests to say, can you please ask, can you tag somebody, Mr. Honorable Zulu, who would be the right person, or where can we find a link of this MOU that was signed between Zambia and the United States? That's one thing that people want to know. And also mining licenses, apparently on paper, to the public, to the Zambians, they are telling us that the issuing of mining licenses has been suspended. But I have been reliably informed in my inbox that licenses are being issued to foreigners. We also saw there's an article circulating online where our president signed an agreement with Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates to open a new mine in Zambia. So why are we giving priority to foreigners? What about people like Mr. Ndambo? We have millionaires in Zambia, even in Africa. So are we going back to the same thing we voted PF for? And when we talk here, we are being told you wanted a job. Excuse you. You can continue, my son.
First of all,
ukutwalirira abafyashi nalaba landondo lwele kuli abale umfo mtu aibo tutire invite aba mutsoko ni market aba maneighbors aba shumfo etsungu tiranda ba honorable Munir Zulu balando kutila kwena ubutungulushi bwabo bali ba president union peskuru balesambira po.
May I proceed now?
Yeah, proceed. She's freezing. Yeah.
Okay. You see, the biggest opposition that this regime faces today is the well-informed group of citizens. Zambian citizens are well educated and well enlightened.
Yes.
That MOU that was signed may not be made available to the public today or tomorrow, but I can assure you to say it's a matter of 3-4 days. Someone is going to leak that document, and we're going to have the contents on our phones, because not everyone is happy. There are so many agreements that will be exposed. It's a matter of time. So we cannot pretend that that document is not going to be made public. That's not possible. I think that's not the Zambia we live in now. Documents are easily accessible, and you don't disclose your sources of information. But very soon, I can assure you, will have that MOU in the public domain. Of course, Parliament is on break, but that does not stop people like yourselves. Look, you've come to talk to me when we've gone on recess. We need a citizen that is a vigilante. That way, we are going to succeed in all our intent to see a prosperous Zambia. Our colleagues think that they can do things in camera. Unfortunately, that time is long gone. That time is long gone. I read somewhere where people think they can dictate to how we should live, how we should do the procurement systems. I read somewhere where people are getting 10% in all these things in the same government. No, before you are paid, you are audited, can you pay 10%? To who? We know that person. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time. The confusion at Cadastre, Ministry of Mines, Mopani, KCM, so is the confusion with the Ministry of Agriculture. And the new problem that the Zambian people are going to be subjected to on the 31st of December is the same. It is meant to benefit a selected few bourgeois in this government. Yes, there is a lot of micromanagement, but I can tell you, these things will boomerang, and the boomerang hard, and it's very soon. I feel sad that I came to Parliament not understanding the in-house rules. You read through your in-house rules, you discover that I found those rules, the Speaker found those rules very archaic. Members of Parliament have to be micromanaged. They have to be told on how to dress, what to occupy, and I'm asking myself, really, is this how elders should live? I ask myself a question. Zambia has 156 constituencies. Out of 156, on a particular matter, you only pick 2 members of Parliament to debate. Is that genuine representation of the views of the people? Why not pick 50? So that you have a general understanding of the difficulties that people are facing. You cannot tell me Eastern Province has 20 constituencies, and when you are debating Eastern Province, you pick on 3. 3 is not representing 50%. Why not pick 10? Because if you pick on me, I'm going to speak about human-animal conflict. I'm going to speak about poor road network. But if you pick on Chipata Central, he's going to talk of street vendors, which I don't have. He will talk about street kids, which I don't have. So we've got different challenges, but you find the rules that we found can easily be breached by saying using the presiding officer's discretion. which in my own opinion is wrong. It needs Parliament to extend working hours to accommodate more views to address the issues affecting our people. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just a look, 1430 to 1840 or 1915 is not workable. Let's work from 14 hours to 21 hours or to 22 hours. In other jurisdictions, Parliament starts working in the morning so that there is more time for members to address the concerns that their people are faced with. But here, we want to work for 4 hours. So we've got a lot of difficulties. And the excuse of saying it used to happen like that before does not hold water with me. Because what was wrong yesterday cannot be correct today. That I have refused. What was wrong yesterday is wrong today. And what is wrong today should be wrong tomorrow. It should also be condemned. But how funny we, the Zambian citizens, are is another circus. You have senior lawyers, senior activists, the church, only coming to speak when it's the year of an election. Everyone has gone quiet. Is it because they're looking for jobs? Or what is it that they're scared of? Madam Pumi, just to put it on record, I was petitioned from the very day that I won the election. I was taken to the Chipata High Court. I did not stop speaking for the people in Lumezi in Parliament because I knew whether my seat would be nullified or not. I continued speaking. When we won the petition in the High Court, again I was petitioned in the Constitutional Court. On top of that, I was suspended. But I didn't stop speaking because I was suspended. Not until the right things are done. So our country is highly toxic, highly divided. But keeping quiet is not providing remedies to anything. We must raise to the occasion as citizens, as young people, and change the narrative. If we need to rewrite Zambia's political history, this is the time to do it.
Thank you. Mama Matipa, the floor is yours. Mama Chamoneka, I think you can just write some notes so that at the end you can do a summary because of time. Okay. Mama Tipa, you can chip in.
Thank you, Honorable Munir. I have two questions to ask at once. I heard you just talk about Parliament starting to work from morning, which you think would be actually better because more MPs would be able to contribute on the floor. My question is, don't you think if this was the case, it will affect ministers who are MPs from executing their ministerial duties? That's the first question. The second question I want to ask is, why has Parliament failed to work professionally with the opposition in Parliament here? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Matipa. First of all, I'm a strong believer that ministers should not come from Parliament. I don't understand why we preach separation of powers when the executive is in the House. We should have done with the executive from outside the House. That way we are going to have balanced debates. Number two, the executive have a Monday which is dedicated to cabinet duties. Tuesday to Friday is parliamentary business, meaning parliamentary business takes precedence. So for me, that is a lame excuse used by people that think they can prolong their stay in power by having two privileges, one from the legislative wing and one from the executive. It's that simple. We need an executive outside Parliament, not from Parliament.
Thank you. My second question is, what is happening in Parliament? Why have you failed to work professionally with the opposition as well as the Speaker of the House?
You see, there is what you call the whipping system. The biggest opposition political party, which is the PF, have a leader of opposition and a whip. The ruling party have a government whip. Before we get into the House, they agree on a position. For fear of being adopted by their respective political parties, people don't debate based on their own understanding of how the House operates. They debate based on partisan lines. So we that are independent do not have those difficulties, because no one is going to whip me. I whip myself. Is this good for the country? In my own opinion, yes. If it's bad, I have to shoot it down. So the whipping system of saying if you don't go with the party position, you will not be adopted in the next election, is the biggest hindrance to democratic dispensation in the House.
And I think, let me just come in right there where you have said. I think from what you have said, I think Zambian politics, these members of parliament, they go to parliament looking for a job. That's why they are scared, because they want to lock in a job security to say in the next election, they would be adopted. So this is where I'm appealing to all you young people to say, let us change the narrative of Zambian politics come 2026. Let us change the narrative of people thinking, I'm going to parliament for a job. You are going to parliament to change your constituency, to make sure funds are allocated to your hospital. We just saw a hospital flooded in Chipata. Our roads are terrible. Our schools are terrible. These people, MPs, they are complacent. They are incompetent, so to say. Some of them have been in parliament for 30 years. I'm going to say it. Shame on you. You have been in that seat for 30 years and you have done nothing. Nothing. For 30 years, you go every year, you get the allowance. It's like, really, we have to change the narrative. Zambia, let us be like a Munir. This is our champion here. He's a champion of the cause to free Zambia. Economic freedom for Zambians is only going to come if you youth start thinking and behaving, acting like Munir Zulu. We brought him here to teach you. Open your eyes. Stop cheerleading. People are lying to you in your face. Muleba to muleba cheerleading. Someone promise you a job. It's like someone promised me I'm paying at Chinkakupa. The next day he dumps me. I should hold him accountable. You promised to marry me. You promised to buy me a car. You promised to food on the table. Let us hold our leaders accountable. That's why Munir Zulu is being harassed day and night. And I want to encourage you, Munir Zulu, to report these people to the International Criminal Court, because they have also compromised the Zambia police, our home affairs, judiciary, the law, the courts, police, they're all compromised. So now Zambia as a nation, let us look out of the country to help us to get our justice and freedom, to practice our freedom in Zambia. We are under a mini dictatorship. We say no to that. Stop harassing Munir Zulu.
Madam Sumi,
harass day and night. Please. You are not
let me come in a little bit. One thing you should understand is that people have gone to parliament for a lot of wrong reasons. I don't understand why you'd want to do the same job for 20 years. Then there is a problem. You cannot be doing same things for 20, 25 years. That's not success. A successful person is that one who sees someone succeed them. Then you are successful. Our political dispensation does not prepare people for success. That's problem number one. Number two, I think it's time we change the narrative with the kind of leaders we produce in this country, because others are going in to make capital, which is not the best thing for the country. I think we need to put up certain standards as to your net worth before you join the house. Because some people, once they come into parliament, they stop visiting their own people that brought them to the house. Why? You don't get it. So we've got a lot of difficulties, yes, but some of these difficulties are man-made. And anything made by man can be controlled by man. For me, I don't mind. I know that in my first 1 year, I've been suspended twice. I've got another 3 years ahead. I don't know how many suspensions are coming my way, but that should not make me not speak out. And I think people should be willing to equally accommodate my divergent views, because I don't have a whip. The challenge is they don't want to listen or learn to listen. For them, they've already judged some of us. But remember, some people are nominated. They're not elected. I went through an election. So there is a difference. Their nomination can be withdrawn. My seat cannot be withdrawn, not until we go back to the ballot. So there is a difference. So going forward, I think we'll need to do away with these nominated MPs. Even the speaker, maybe in the near future, should be an elected member of parliament, not nominated. Then they'll know the difficulties that people go through in an election to come to Manda Hill and represent the views and aspirations of the people. You can imagine that some constituencies, you get 2,000 votes, you're a member of parliament. For some of us, we've got to go out of 53,000 voters, how many are going to vote for me as an independent? And then we deserve respect because we've gotten authority from the people.
Exactly.
We draw our authority from the people.
Exactly.
To them, they think they're punishing me. But my people in the constituents are also watching and they sympathize with me. They are losing their popularity in my constituents with their conduct. Whether they will sponsor district commissioners, whoever they will sponsor, people have known their character of who they are and what they stand for. I'm not worried with a suspension. Not once, not twice, never. They've got to be very strong for them to frustrate me.
So, Honorable Munir, we've all seen the biasness in the House, especially with the Speaker. It's all out there for us to see. There was a time of allowances when the opposition MPs walk out and the Speaker went on to rant that you will not get your allowances. We want to find out whether this is a rule in the House that you walk out and you forfeit your allowances. If you can just confirm on that. And equally wanting to answer on behalf of the Vice President, we have seen the Speaker wanting to answer on behalf of the Vice President. Will you also equally tell us if the delay in disbursing the CDF in certain constituencies was also a part of biasness, wanting to disburse it first to their members of parliament as opposed to the opposition members of parliament? Thank you.
If I had my way to form government today, the first thing I'll do away with is the CDF. CDF is a scam.
I agree with you. It's a cash cow for politicians. Even me. See, I bash CDF.
CDF is a scam. We were promised money last year. We made recommendations through the WCs. We made recommendations what to procure. Until to date, we have failed to procure because our letters of request are now at Attorney General's office. So where is the decentralization policy? We wanted to procure a front-end loader, a grader in Lumezi. We're ending this year next week. Authority has not been granted to procure. I've only seen 2 constituencies that have procured. That is Chasefu and Kanchivia. So what criteria is used, truly, I do not know. For Lumezi, the documents are still with Attorney General's chambers, and there is coming to an end. But when you go to Pakra and do your own investigations, you realize that a lot of members of parliament, a lot, have registered new companies so that they're involved in the supply chain or construction of CDF projects to think that they can make some money. So it's a scam. It's meant to enrich a selected few individuals.
Yes.
So it's a scam.
You know,
Whether
me, let me know, just to say something about that. I was in Zambia 23 years ago. I applied for CDF 23 years ago. I failed. Only politicians, members of parliament that get that CDF. So CDF is the license to print money for politicians. It's a cash cow, and it must be then come 2026, no CDF. The new government that is coming, and for sure, I can say this, I feel it in my spirit. There is a new government coming 2026. A new government with people like Honorable Munir to go and clean out the mess, change the constitution, get rid of recycled politicians who are used to a papata. These recycled politicians are a rope hanging us on our neck. Ever let we fire. Continue Munir Zulu.
Honorable
Munir, honorable allowances on the walkout. Is it
you see,
a rule?
If you read S.K. May on parliamentary procedure and practice, S.K. May is a renowned author in the Commonwealth. It is permitted to walk out of the chamber because you need to consult. You cannot consult each other when parliamentary business is ongoing. You may interrupt the proceedings of the House. So common practice has been when you are aggrieved as members, you walk out and consult each other on what next. So the issue of allowances is unprecedented, which can be challenged in the courts of law. And Madam Pumi, you spoke of writing human rights. Let me tell you, I know personally I've written to the IPU and the Commonwealth. I think the PF have also taken that route because we are not satisfied with certain decisions that have been made. We've been breaching our own standing orders. If I breach them, I'm penalized. Others are forgiven. So we wonder to say, do we have 2 sets of standing orders that are only applicable to me and not applicable to others? We've seen members from the executive using F words on the floor of the House. People pushing their complaints and are told your letter has gone missing. Write another one. How? So we've got to contain a lot of difficulties within and outside the House. But I encourage my colleagues, those that are on the left side of the House, they should not use emotions because Zambians are relying on us. Zambians are counting on us to be strong, to soldier on. If we give up, then this country is gone. So we've got to be strong, and I can assure you that as much as we have difficult days ahead, but the better days to come. That I'm certain. Better days are coming.
Mama Monica, comment?
Kwena na alalanda fyokutila amashimina la supawila ayalanda ba Munir Zulu na labula mufya amashwaya nono issue number 1 yo na umfa kuli ba honorable ba mbuya balanda kutila ichibipile sana mu buteko bwesu kukana kwato okunfefiranda abantu nefiranda abantu iliwe shiwi nalikula pamashiwi yonse ishiwi balanda ba Munir Zulu batila ichibipile mulya munganda ya mafunde kukana umfwa ifiranda abantu nangula ifirelira abantu elo kabiri balanda okutila mulya munganda ya mafunde muli ntalumwa kabisana okuyumfwa sana elo okuyumfwa kulalenga abantu kana ishibe fingi bantu muntu akwata pride okuyumfwa tete omfwe advise muntu yonse kanshi mulya munganda ya mafunde tabalefa yokulapukela ma advisor yonse efi alanda ba Munir Zulu esala mofye elo kabiri ba Munir Zulu balanda okutila kwena indalama kwena muchalo chesu cha Zambia chachine mulifya ma blank checks indalama tamuli elo baisalanda kabiri okutila kwena ECDF ndesala mofye ECDF baleta muchalo cha Zambia ni scam nangula obufunfu ntungu elo kabiri ba Munir Zulu balanda okutila ati na balanda mashwa ya kankala ba MP wesu emonale mimena mwili ashibya fyunsu lero kwena ya ashibya chumsu baona lebo na mifunya bantu mwaomba mashwa kalamba sana ilienda yali nchusha sana na mwene kwati awa kweno yutata nangu ni member of parliament amano takwata kuti ayaye babantu ati bonse kuye fyunfu so kati lili ashya chumfu abantu bali ni mwenamo kanchi mfimwaisa pae mungande amafunde muri bakwini 10 apanomba abantu bala mishi babwino kutila kanshi mwalipata manwa yasukilira ngachi umo twale mimwena mwili ashibya fyunfu pata kwabo muntu ingesara ndeni ashibya mungumsa ukwisa alitwala mungande amafunde na pali ichiushu wale na kupela ukubokopa msiwale lo ine mamachika mweneka pantu walanda mashui ayakankala sana vile mbachilandati aba kumfa bonfu ngoli na matwi umfu ngata ukwete amatwi wimfwa ero abantu namuishiba ikintu nasambile ba mama matipa ba mama kwini 10 baona rebo chakwe bati ngatulefwa yo kukwata amanu ayengi kumfa kuli ulyo musulire amanu tatumfa kubano banesi tumfa kuli ulyo ine tusulire ero tupoka kwa amanu kanshi ba Munir Zulu nabalanda mashwa ya kalamba sana okutila ati mulya munganda ya mafume mulya mwabafye chimfulumfulu icho ine Munir Zulu ine nshifwa yo muntu kumbola kwati ninewo chimbwino plan na kuskulu elo nali president wa union ishalefa yo muntu kumbola kwati nine chimbwino plan uwa mbona tine chimbwino plan alamu puisha mwishimili ya fyunfu bakutiandeke
Mama Chikamoneka, just so that you know, lesa tafwa ya ulufiengo. If you're not tafwa ya, you know where I'm seated here. I'm in the company of another honorable member of parliament from Milenge, independent, Honorable Chonde.
Oh, okay.
And before we close, I'll allow him to greet you people. So some people think we are just hell-bent at destroying the image of the country. We have no such intentions. We want the very best for our neighbors. We were elected to represent the best interest of the people. But what surprises me is within 12 months, a new government is defensive. Where is the problem? They didn't have a plan to rule? Where is the problem? I planned what to do for the people of Lumezi, without CDS. I'm not defensive in Lumezi. I'll allow you to come to Lumezi. If you want to stand, go. I'm not worried because I'm walking the talk. So I see a serious problem coming. Today we are told ZESCO has increased the tariffs. Fuel will be going up tomorrow. Is that what they promised the Zambian people? Did we need the IMF conditions? So, the so-called praise singers, I'm glad that the number has reduced. The number has reduced because now we wake up to videos, people are crying, even from their own strongholds, people are crying, saying, what's happening?
Munir Zulu. Honorable Munir, bakwinimpumile kenimpuishe. Honorable Munir nkalanga shaya kutila ti. Mulya munga ndaya mafunde tuya mukwiminina kwa ma constituencies. Chila muntu eminina kwa constituency yakwe. Nomba ichipapusha mulya munga ndaya mafunde ine kuno constituency yandine Munir Zulu kwali ba problem ya mechi. Bambi ba honorable bali kwata problem ya ma street kids. Bambi ba honorable bali kwata ama problems ya unemployment ma constituencies. Ba Munir Zulu taba kwata ma street kids. Taba kwata ba filende Babylon misumba nkalamba mpeki. Twala bula ba MP baka ukuli ba filende. Twala bula ba Munir Zulu kumishukusha ba filende. Bushe inenga na ndama funde. Ero bayasumisha vima member of parliament babidi ukulanda abona bo balala baleshingwa na yena mu constituency yabo. Let's say na bula Christopher Kangombe panto Christopher Kangombe alaisa tumkanfisa tamuni bridge mukanfisa abantu amenshi mukanfisa bushe yali ama problems akwete Kangombe kwete ba Munir Zulu ka ikamna munga ndama fakutila chila MP member of parliament ale landa bera baputula iyo era bafilio kwa 50% balanda mafia baleshingwa na yena muma constituencies pantu amafia na la mipera chachi ne ba Zulu mwalanda amafia pali constituency mwa mafia alipusana kumushita kwa baba Babylon misumba kumushita kwa takwa baba street kids if you bala twala ba Munir Zulu fintu baleshingwa na tiena muri ubya constituency yabo ama MPs was afilio kulanda file tusha bali abantu abamutwala munganda ya mafunde nomba nshala ndefi defo kubepsha ba Munir Zulu bushe ya lo la mui bayo kuishiba ya
one thing we should know, look, just on Friday, well, on Thursday, I was very upset. I drive to Parliament building. I find that the members of Parliament that do not have game management areas are being honored as honorary game rangers. I said, Benue was no game park in Nkana. Andrew Tang was no game park in Kabwata. How come the honorary rangers when I'm not? I've got 4 game parks in Lumezi, and then I'm not one of the rangers. I made noise until they facilitated. So that's how toxic this country has become. They had no option but to give me my award. I said it's not normal that people with constituencies that have no wildlife are being honored. For what? Are you going to allow them to poach and make money together?
It's a sham of a government. Sorry to say, it's a sham.
How?
And they have to go. We really can't condone this, really.
So I said, okay, this is now drama. Honestly, Kawata has no game park. It's even difficult to find just a goat, a domesticated animal. It's difficult. So how possible is it that then for me, who has more than 4 game parks, I'm cut off. I just said, "Dawe mwe bantu akwaresa insone buntu."
They have to go. Mama Matipa, can you make a comment?
Yes.
And then
Honorable, I really, first and foremost, I've got 2 other questions to ask you.
Please.
Today, ERB approved the increase on connection fees of ZESCO poles. Now, in my view, ZESCO poles belong to ZESCO, and that is an infrastructure that belongs to ZESCO. Why should me and you invest in ZESCO's infrastructure? Because even when I move there, I will not take that pole away with me, number one. Number two, I will not be the only one connected to that pole. So when Lusaka Water and Sewerage come and place a meter at my house, they do not ask me to pay for that meter. They leave that meter and I pay for the water that I consume. I know there is a little fee that Lusaka Water attaches to the bill, which is called maintenance of the meter. That I know. So my worry is, why should I pay for a ZESCO pole to be installed at my premises? So number two, Honorable, I really want to find out, what are your comments on the high poverty levels in the country and no money circulation in the country? Thank you.
Look, we've been exploited for way too long as citizens. And I think the problem has been that we've accepted it. We citizens are a problem. It is now time for us to say enough is enough.
Exactly.
There is no any other better answer, because for how long we had colonial masters that exploited us, and now we're being exploited by our own. No. The solution is with you and myself. And all these viewers that are watching and listening, it's us there that are feeling the impact that should take our rightful position in society. Even the workers at ZESCO, I'm told they're not getting their Christmas bonuses this time around because they're repairing the economy. So they're also feeling the impact. And I'm saying, look, you are creating a serious level of discontentment in the civil service with these decisions that are being made. So if they don't do the right thing, come May, June next year, I can assure you, I'll be the first person to go on Freedom Statue and say they must go. That I can assure you.
Well, I don't think you will be the only person. When you look at people...
That's why I started this page. That's why I started this page, because the indicators are not good. Zambians, rise up. We have been exploited enough. 58 years of independence. You know, when you're at 58, when you're as a man, as a human being, if you are 58 years of age, you should have to show what you worked for.
I agree.
58 years
you should be retired and enjoying your wealth. Now we have a government who is going to bring 75-year-olds back into government. We have a government that is prioritizing foreigners over youth. We have a government giving tax holiday to minors. Tax holiday is like the biggest night that UPND did. If they hate me, UPND, tax holiday kuma mine. Especially when I see the poverty level.
You see, when Zambia was celebrating its 40th independence, there was a song played on ZNBC that life begins at 40. But here we are, 58 years after independence. Our life has not begun yet. What type of society are we trying to create?
Yeah. Honorable Munir, was the tax holiday issue brought before Parliament, or it was just a unilateral decision by the government?
It was unilateral.
Thank you. This is enough should see them out of government. A reason for the tax holiday is a reason to vote them out. They cannot give tax holiday. Abantu balefwa. Pana Dr. Mudi. Amame da. Really? You can go ahead.
Let's forget the tax holiday.
Yes. Honorable. Questions. Think better for my comments. Questions. So the abantu nabo basansa sana lelo ukulimentseo namona ya fushangachi lelo abantu baba supporta sana ba Munir kutila ababa honorable of parliament balikwata sana mano keko ame pusho baipusha ili pusho ndefu ya mbele ngeko fiapa balula ndokutila ba maos chanda bando kutila. What is your comment on Simbo Poke? Honorable Munir Zulu, Simbo Plenya Mulela Pila, Mulela Neronda, Eva Mouse Chanda.
Mama Chikamoneka, those slogans are arrogant in nature. They are mocking the Zambian people. You tell me Simbo Poke. Honestly, without being in parliament, I think I qualify to live amongst the elite in this country. Then you, who cannot afford the basic meals, is telling me, Fimbo Poke, you're mocking the Zambian. You know, when God has blessed you in a certain way, God gives and God grabs. These slogans are a signal that God is about to repossess that which they have. I don't want to mention names. Prior to the 2021 general election, there were youths in the ruling party that used to mock me. Handsome Patumba. Where are they today? Don't take that which God has given you for a ride. The Fimbo Poke slogan is a mockery to the Zambian people. And it's not even appealing, so I don't even understand why people use it. And these are the same people that behind the keyboards start sending messages to people, no, I need help. I don't have what. So why are you singing it? I look at some former member of parliament in the previous session who has some criminal charges leveled against him, trying to launder his name by using it. I'm saying, to what benefit? We can do better as a people. Some of these slogans are going to destroy the very people that are using them. It's to disrespect the Zambian citizens. It's an insult to the Zambian people. There are only three things. I've heard your thoughts on the taxes, but I can tell you there are only three things that will force regime change in Zambia. Number one, it's energy. Number two, it's medicine. Number three, it's agriculture. Forget about the mines and all. If a Zambian cannot afford a bag of millet, don't push them.
Yeah.
A Zambian cannot afford to find Panadol in hospitals. They have limits because people are losing their loved ones on a daily basis. That one is going to cost them big. Forget about what they've done to the mines. Forget about what they've done to the corruption crusade. Just these three things are enough to cause regime change.
Honorable, your view on the high poverty levels and no money in circulation?
Ordinarily, I would love the situation to continue a little bit so that we Zambians can learn the hard way. But again, we may lose lives. So the earlier money is made available in circulation, the better. Because I think Zambians are learning that things are not okay.
Yeah. That's very true. I also wanted to ask from you, Honorable Munir, is there a cost of lodging in the Parliament motel? And are you allowed to make alternative options? Because we see some honorable members of Parliament abusing those lodging facilities. So we wanted to know whether they are actually given free of charge or there's a cost attached to it. Thank you.
There is a cost attached to it, and the only people that have an extra option are cabinet ministers, because remember, cabinet ministers have cabinet houses provided for. But for a person like myself, who has a house in Lusaka, I still have to pay for a room even if I don't use it, unfortunately so. Because we found these practices, and I can't blame the current presiding officers, because we found them. In a normal setup, what should have been happening was that you are given options. Do you need a room or not? But where we are, we have no option but to pay for the rooms.
Okay.
I think that's unfair. I think like in this day and age, there are so many alternatives to lodging. And I think, which brings me to the question to say, is there any plans? Are there any plans to update the Zambian constitution? Because there are so many things which we have inherited from the colonial masters still being practiced today when we are living in different times. 60 years down the line, we are still stuck to decisions that were made by colonial masters. So what are you as parliamentarians doing to change these things, including things like syllabus for our children in school? You know, our children are being taught about, history of whatever, European wars, when we are not being taught about how to mine copper, how to mine emerald.
Just hold. I'll tell you something. I'm not trying to disrespect Parliament, first of all. Article 88(1) of the Republican Constitution gives you citizens to comment on matters to do with the Constitution, with parliamentary business. So now, you've got members of Parliament that do not have houses in Lusaka, right? And their families are maybe 800 k's away from Lusaka. Today, you can get a 2-3 bedroomed house, furnish it up for 5 years so that you allow your family to visit you when Parliament is sitting. The setup of that motel cannot accommodate your family. It's like a bunker bed. It's like meant to accommodate people that do not have families. You get the point? So then when you look at Parliament itself, it has committees. Our accommodation is not prescribed in the Constitution. It is provided for in our own standing orders. Now, the people that look at our standing orders are what we call Reforms and Modernization Committee. If your composition of that committee is those that they are thinking is still colonial, there is nothing you are going to reform. What should have happened was you have the younger generation or young crop of parliamentarians blending together with the old. Then you come up with reforms. Someone who was there in 1978, what reforms are they going to bring to the table? There has been generational change. So long our reforms and modernization will cause such an interaction as an insult to Parliament, we're not going anywhere. And then I do not know until to date who chooses the composition of these committees. So you find that the composition is already compromised. They just choose each other. No, you and that one being reforms and modernization. People that are so accustomed to saying only Salaula shoes last longer are in reforms. What will they reform?
Oh, what did that was seven?
That's a problem. And this is reality. It's happening. You look at the composition of these sensitive committees that have to look at making progress for their members, and you just say, in 1996, a Casio was the most selling wristwatch. You still think in 2022, it's Casio. When your friends are dealing with the Patek Philippe.
Nokia 3310. One is an iPhone Pro Max 14. Washalamuni Nokia 3310. Please, Zambia forward, real forward, not backward.
So even, there is a lot of wrong things, but how to address them is the beginning of a solution. Because if people don't want to accept...
Honorable Munir, there's a question here online. It's from Akamwamba Martin.
Okay.
He says, Honorable, was Honorable Nakachinda in order to refuse to render an apology? Again, it goes down to those written apologies you are meant to read.
First of all, let's all accept one thing. He did not refuse to apologize. He refused to read an apology written for him. These are two distinct situations. He was given an apology to read. He wanted to own the message. So all that culture or practice is archaic. Number two, the standing orders are not meant for you who is not a member of parliament. Standing orders are only applicable to us sitting members. So in my own thinking, I think we did the wrong thing as parliament, because we called the private citizen depriving him of his right of Article 88(1) of the Constitution. Because Article 88(1) of the Constitution gives citizens the right to comment on matters in Parliament. Then Article 76(1) gives members of Parliament the privilege to speak freely, which is brought down in writing in Standing Orders 202. So Article 88(1) does not extend to we members. So it varies with interpretation. It could have been wrong, but to interpret the law in its literal sense, I think we could have been on the wrong side. Why should we summon citizens and subject them to rules that are binding only to members?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like you.
So
Why should
I
we
think
someone
we
who's
should
come?
be winding down. So I want to say my last comment, and then
Queen
and if you
Mpumi.
want to say your last comment, so that I bring
Queen
in the
Mpumi.
other honorable. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say something. I have seen there are a lot of people here who would like to ask maybe a few questions to Honorable Munir. So probably if you can drop me and allow some people who have, you know, just one or two questions to
Yes.
interact with
Yes.
Honorable
Yes.
Munir. So kindly drop me and you can add me later.
Okay. So can you leave the meeting? And yeah. So Honorable Zulu, can you add your friend? What is his name? The other honorable.
I'm with him. I'll just give him my honorable. Come sit next to me. Huh?
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, the panelists.
Welcome, sir.
Empire Mapoleni.
Good to see you.
Empire, good to see you. Thank you.
You can introduce yourself so we get to know you.
Okay, I know this is not my platform. My name is Honorable Chonde Saka, Member of Parliament for Milenge constituency in Luapula. Just to give you a little bit of Empire. We are the only two independent members of parliament, me and Gideon, in the out of the 15 in Luapula.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I want to congratulate you. I didn't know much about this platform except today I found myself with the Honorable, the most popular member of parliament we have at the moment.
And you know what? It's God's timing is the best.
Yeah.
Because we are independent people. My platform too is a human rights based organization, and our agenda on this platform is we talk of moving Zambia forward. What can we do to help create an environment where Zambians are not scared to speak? You know, where we can educate people and free ourselves from political, actually economic slavery being imposed by our own politicians. We are being brainwashed to cheer poverty.
On that platform alone, we have a challenge in terms of weak institutions. You know, institutions are not really protected. And we have seen what has happened with the current change. That doesn't even spare everybody else, including the human rights practitioners themselves. We've seen the people that spoke with the opposition in the name of representing human rights. And today, only to discover that they were begging for positions. So we have a complicated society. We really need to have the migration of thinking. Unfortunately, this might affect even the youth. I'm glad that obviously most of your discussion is centered on the youth. I'm not a youth myself, but I think I've got enough to contribute to the cause of change, which obviously has eluded us for quite some time now. And it's evident now that we are still suffering from the same. The people of Zambia, for example, the change that we came through, people vested their trust in the current leadership. So what have we gotten out of it? Is exactly the opposite. So what is happening now is that people are fatigued with the kind of answers the current leadership are giving them. You know, there's failure to migrate from campaign promises and expectation to actual leadership. They've basically, I think, I have no another word other than failure. There are serious signs of failure in the current leadership to propel the change that the people gave them trust for. But I don't have, it's not my platform. I don't have much time, much platform to move away from what was the earlier discussion, subject of discussion. Of course, I used to catch a few of, I caught a few of your discussions with the Honorable. And there are numerous things that you touched on that, for example, you touched on the taxing, the mining taxation, which is a subject for another day. It can go on for the day. It's all, all these things are culminating into one thing: betrayal of trust. So we need to come down to the nitty-gritty of things and see how we can propel our nation to greater heights. But it's been a pleasure having known you on this platform, and I look forward to appear on your platform.
Of course, follow my page here. Miss Honorable Zulu can give you my number. Let's connect. I am not a youth as well, but you know why I am here is because 70% of the population of Zambia is under 25 years old. So it's going to take people like you and me to provide leadership, to educate our young ones. Imagine 53% of Zambians are under 17 years of age. So you can see why this government is actually dominating, manipulating, because they know the voters, they are under 70% under 25 years of age. We have a huge gap where we lost a lot of our peers due to social diseases that have been happening in our region. So there is a population gap. Like my friends are all deceased, most of them. So I am here because I know that there are a lot of orphans out there who are being manipulated and used by greedy politicians. That's why we are here to say enough is enough. By youth, let us fight for Zambia. Zambia, we are a rich country. I always say Zambia has more money than people. We are number 6 on producing copper in the world. And those countries we are on the list with, look at their economies. They are prospering. They are roads. Unlike but if we in that same group of rich people look at us, it's a sorry sight. And we are here to say, as long as we all see it, thank God for social media. Everything now is going to happen on social media. People, if you're buying a Christmas gift, buy a smartphone for your loved one, because all the campaign is moving online. We are going to be online, people. This is where the news is happening. Online. Let's educate our kids. Free ourselves. Enough is enough.
We need your physical presence here. We need your physical presence here. You know what is happening? Like Honorable Munir Zulu touched on reform and modernization in terms of parliament. Government actually, by practice, they spend a lot of money in benchmarking. Members of parliament are well traveled to see how other parliaments are run. But you see what we have in Zambia is they are treating, to attend to a wrong and use a measure of wrong measures in order for them to achieve what they want. Like, for example, in Zambian parliament, we are suffering, I think, in terms of decision making, we have issues of empirical arrogance of numbers. And this is coming, it's so, my vocabulary is failing me. I don't even know the right word to use. But arachira shupa chakufira kalipo mutima ula kalipa, ninkumfoli nkaka mutima ula kalipa, where when people want to rebut and they'll say because the predecessors did the same thing, so they feel right to do the same thing 2 years later or 5 years later. And I don't know what sort of society we intend to guard and guide. So we have a lot of issues in terms of reform and modernization, because the people, we're still on the trajectory of this huge, I think the tradition there is deep rooted. It won't be now, but we can certainly take it out, especially with the generation change and a bit more involvement of the youth before they get, before they get, what is the word? Before they get, there's a Passover, from the old generation to the new generation. So before they get drowned into such habits, we could have a chance and sneak in the needed change. that this country needs. Otherwise, the balance of change will really take us a lot of time if the trajectory remains, if we remain on the same trajectory. But I wish you well, and obviously expand your participation so that you can gather enough information in order for it to filter into society. We need you more and your presence, especially in the rural setup where I'm coming from. I may be privileged because I'm living in Lusaka here, but we have connectivity issues, developmental issues, infrastructure, name them. All sorts of issues affect Milenge. And it's not incumbent upon the MP, but the problem is the policymakers. What priorities are they doing? Yeah. We are basically lobbyists. We lobby for what our people want. But a few other people in the boardroom put down a few notes that they feel should be done in that particular year. But it weighs heavily on the MP, on the representative of the people where they're coming from. So we have a lot of issues in terms of refining. How do we then govern our society fast forward to come to terms with the current generation world over and the practice how it is done? It's easier to come on a platform like this one and promise change, but the systems need serious reformation. We need to go in and interrogate, but with, like you've said, with a mindset that come there to seek employment and feel that once they become politicians, they'll make a lot of money and they need to change their lives. This is a serious compromise in serious leadership, especially towards reformation. But I don't have much, I wasn't really prepared and researched on your discussion. Obviously, I've touched on a bit of a...
No, we shall have a special date with you. Mark my words, we are going to have a special date. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The floor is yours. Yeah.
Honorable, ndefayo kubeba kutila nabo wansansa sana pabushikuwa lelo because kulya iskulu lya Milenge primary school badadi ba Israel ba Iswide badadi eba Iswide Milenge na kwaso ponto kulya yali ama schools badadi bandi bale isula ine mama chikamoneka babwalya eba Iswide yali ama school eba lya bana mbona balenda na onda one time balefa nokutubya kunkala monishira batusenda pali onda badadi kwa Milenge eba Iswide ama school elo kabiri nabo wansansa sana munganda yamafunde lero ba honorable kwisa muno kutila kanshi mwapoleni akuli ili omushu wakula sana mwe na sokontwe kabiri mwe munganda yamafunde na umfu amashuwa yasuma sana yo mwalando kubati ichilefu aika munganda yamafunde ni seriousness eshi wina ulapo seriousness ilefu aika pantu ichalo cha Zambia po chifitile ni pali bwana nembulule so kanshi takulefai kama jokes mone ni honorable mulya munga ya mafunde ineta pa becho ufamo fiama ya nishaishwa nemo chilo because tatwa ya munga ya mafunde ba honorable mwambi okutwaleti ya leti taba PF nishimule rufyanya mulya munga ya mafunde ba PF bali bafumyamo ni mwe bale tungula ma constituencies abena Zambia bene bali basort out ba PF babafunya mufifulo babafunya offices babafunya na mukabinet babafunya na munganda ya nomba chinshi ba MP muletira mwa munganda ya mafunde mwa ya kubwesha if ya lechita ba PF because ba PF abena Zambia bali basorting out fine mwalando kwa seriousness ilefuaika chachi ne seriousness ilefuaika tie nituambie kubombera pafitu ama problems aya leshingwana na bena Zambia not ukulanda patio ba sorting akali ama voters fidia bali si sorting akali ya ba PF na totera okay. My son, you can come in. Our son is waiting there.
Okay, just a quick one. We appreciate if you are under power Sokontwe. I think there's a practically speaking, there's fatigue. People are fatigued with the blame game. That's a general position of most Zambians because 1 year down the line, and this is the guy you gave a chance to lead them, and obviously we were coming from a period of where we campaigned and promised a lot of things and a lot of change. And then 1 year down the line, you still refer to what happened in January as a justification for your failure of the current. So there's general fatigue towards that attitude, and people are not ready to go on that trajectory. So the challenge that we have is that actually they have given resurrection to the PF, because now people are given a chance to say, oh, probably did we make a right decision?
Exactly.
Or was this correct? So this is where we are now at the moment. Because, and this, you can't blame it on anyone. You blame it on the current leadership, their approach to what the people expected. And they needed to do a general departure from promises to leadership. So I think this is where we are coming from. Yes, we agree and we hear your frustration. It's the fatigue. You can't keep on giving same excuses for 1 year. I think the people are not welcoming that. And I thought it was just important to comment on the fatigue status of our nation.
Thank you. Thank you. So my son, in the corner, you have a comment on the fatigue. I think UPND have become Lot's wife. UPND have become salt. That's my comment. They have been looking back. Honorable Zulu, welcome.
Thank you, Messi. I want to make a clarion call. First of all, the clarion call is to the current leadership. Let them not give the Zambian youths a blank check. Let them give the Zambian youths a check that is well or sufficiently funded. We don't want a check with insufficient funds. That's call number one. Call number two, we are not interested in being told the PF did this, they did that. That's not our interest. That's in the past. We can't change the past. We can only change the future. You see, we are on holiday. Madam Pumi, just look at this. We are on holiday. We are on CNDA. I'm in a golf t-shirt because I represent the youth. But Honorable Chonde is already looking smart. So we must blend. Just a simple example. He didn't know he will appear by accident. But we must be willing to blend the younger ones and the old. If we do that, we are going to make a lot of progress in a lot of sectors. Our friends, I was reading in News Diggers today that they're saying load shedding is as a result of an act of God. Really? An act of God. Arrogance. People who in Brazil, I know of one presidential candidate who said and declared that I'm winning this election and not even God will stop me. He won the election, but the next day he died and he was never declared as president of Brazil. You don't play with God. So you cannot tell us that it's an act of God.
And you know what? It can't be an act of God, because God is the one exporting 2,000 megawatts to Zambia, to Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Malawi. They are lying to say they are exporting only 200 megawatts when they are exporting 2,000 megawatts of power. So is God exporting 2,000 megawatts of power?
No.
Especially, I said, don't put God in your lives. Just be quiet if you don't have anything to say. You declare the surplus power 1,000 megawatts. Air power they declare 1,000. Now they are exporting 2,000. So which means they have gone to the Zambian people and grab 1,000 megawatts from the Zambian people to make a total of 2,000 they're exporting. Zambians are not stupid. You will pay for your lives. Time is coming.
No, for me, I wish them well. And as we conclude, first of all, Madam Fumi, Mama Chikamoneka, Mama Matipa, I'm extremely grateful that you've created this platform and invited me to appear and have a conversation. And what surprises me is why some people don't want us to have conversations. You know, you sort out problems by talking. When there is a Cold War, there is nothing that you resolve. So I'm extremely grateful and I'm humbled, most sincerely, that we've had some time created for us to talk, decent conversation, looking at the welfare of our people. And that's how it should be. It's also possible in my comments, I could have injured one or two people. It was not by intent, because my primary goal is to try and speak that which means well for the Zambian people. And I hope no one has taken offense, because we just mean well for our country that we love most dearly. But I've got no apologies to say that they've given the Zambian youths a blank check with insufficient funds. I've got no apologies to make to say come May, June, I'll be the first to go to the freedom statue and say they must go. I've got no apology.
And just to add on to that, the blank check thing.
Yes.
When you issue a blank check knowing there is insufficient fund, it's a fraud.
Yeah, fraud.
Because you got services without paying for them. So this government, they got the vote. We Zambian voters, we gave them the vote, we campaigned for them in a promise for delivery. But instead of delivery, they have given us a blank check. It is fraud. It is fraud. We have a PhD. We are just calling it the way it is. It's a spade. We are not going to candy coat anything. Ni fraud. Ngani TV wasenda. Walemba check na wishiva chimpieta muli mubanki. Ni muka wola. That is fraud. Kibu shori. Mama, you can go ahead.
No, sorry, before you come in, just 1 second. The blank check that was given to the Zambian youths bounced at the bank.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's the Zambian people that are the police to investigate the fraud. We've rejected the bounced check on an insufficient funds. For me, if I don't speak out, I'll be betraying my own conscience.
Me too. I'm with you. That's why I'm here.
Because
I campaign for them. So how can I campaign for fraudsters and be quiet? I can't sleep at night. Mama, Monica, the floor is yours.
Natotera sana Honorable Munir Zulu bambuya wanti kwena ayamashiwe Malanda wakwati Malanda kubitima yabe na Zambia bengi abalechimufa amashiwe ayakubesula ameso kairi amashiwe ayabulanda nganshi na ine onatampo kumfana fyufa lelo ififyonse fidestika because ine njishibyo kutila ubuteko bwesu ubutwapele voting bafuire okuwamya ekyalo muri 3 years bantu kwene ekyalo kyesu kya Zambia ekyo ndelandira kuli abafeste kuli abalanda timamasikamanga stop talking about BPF in quoting wrong ndelanda okutira ba UPND mulya munganda y'amafunde nangu ba MP bonse belanga pali PF government EPF government bali basorting out kubena Zambia Sirafine ba sorting ba pokele obutungu aba UNIP sirafine ba sorting ba MMD baisa sorting ba PF. So if we tatfiri okulalanda pali ba PF munganda ya mafunde. If we kulalanda pa fintu fyo filenda pakutira abantu baishiba. What if ba Munir Zulu balondolo ko bati arrogance mwana ensu yachira. Arrogance ukubiringa akatukumushi kachiramo ero kabiri na advice tabonfa ku bantu. So vile vyonse ukuba ngechipani chanyu tufile okuchifunyapo pakutira twaishi befinyi kuba n'insu bali abalimo bali abapitiremo. So kanchi chile chitikapa chakwe bati obubuteko obufire bwalondolwera abantu munganda y'amafundo ko bati kwena ichalo bali vandalized nombe vichalo chali vandalized mwala tupela ko 2 years or 3 years mwe bantu tuwamye ichalo muri 1 year ichalo tuwamye muri 1 year Zambia ko yafta vandalized na honorable Munir Zulu tieni tubapele 3 years ero nomba tukeseranda chao bafirwa but for now Zambia first hapa yani bako vandalized inekwe national land wala bapenda 3 years ero twalaisa tuishi yokutira awe kwena hapa nomba chashupa batecho bafiro bomberapo chakweba bena Zambia chinko kwebati kwena mwebena Zambia twaisa pakabala ichalo cha Zambia twala teka nisi bantu twala expect tefo twasanga iyo so mwitu mwenamo twala bombe fine maeba bena Zambia no tukwikala quiet ngefyo mwala that arrogance na advice tabakwete babombere pali arrogance no kula mfefiranda abantu pantu chiwe machalanda ati munshibulwa ala na mafikubuko ero balanda ati bachu munshoro batabavu amabumpere mbechibula matu ero baisanga kalafya kayimbiri obuchinga neshi kushawira so kanshi ifile tu abombera pali yo arrogance so kanshi twala bapela 3 years ukumona efyo bala teke cha
pusha ukweba 3 years abantu bakalali enshi abantu kuli ukwakana peteraiza mumameda so abantu bakalali enshi
iyo 3 years kwena
because it's you know what is it
bakwini 10 ni mbona na bamukukana bali la pa Zambia nali lo mwana umwe
so 3 years Katwishi. My son is there. My son, welcome. And then it was like Salapa Peneva Munir Zulu. I know Waila. Upon Shile Kumona, you can comment and then we can do our last comments. We'll continue next year with another wonderful topic with our Honorable Zulu.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Honorable Munir Zulu.
Good evening. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, thank you, sir. And Mama Chikamonika, my God, I shall more fashions.
In the Mule Posha Muchive Manangu Muchiosi is 2 films and Zambia. My Calafia Wino.
That doesn't Salama, you could be Monarello. The last time the morning.
No more, Melo in Temen Kumona will be Munir Zulu was Yunsu. Inside Baba Kubo Zatif.
Awe chama sana nalambira kuri bamayoba Mama Chikamonika program ninji ko ngoko mwambire mwafyashi bani
Landisha ko le ufikira kutali landisha ko
okay nalambira na Mama Chikamonika
yes
nalafu kwanda pali comment bachiranda ati yo ba UPND is too early to judge them ati yo to pay 3 years Mama Chikamonika to pay 3 years cause abene bali tuntumba kuituntumba kuti bagesa chinje fini mukashitaka nono ngamulebusha balela ndo kutira ati inebonga mwa mtaswa ini kuma 10 hours 14 hours is not tawala ndi muri 3 years bandi muri nebonga mwa mtaswa ni muri 10 14 dollar night that's bale it's on record mwamala tema zabe bela tiola ndeni fi mlandeta abene wale itunduma mukana kabo using his own words ukwa bena Zambia and that's why abena zabe bapotere manda kwati ma promises bale beba eshalengere ukufunya hapo ba PF teko bati abena Zambia bali temoni ba HHA abantu wana na PF if chitwa fyabo so that was the only option So when over some government, you know 1 year, you don't 1 year. But if it's now I start increasing. Could start install pause from 4,000 to is it? If I don't know if I'm correct. From 4,000 something to 13. I don't know if it's 12. Few in a instance. You money 1 year to the land up. You won't go in a instance. You 1 year to the land up. Maman. So the children that were Einstein at a kuli, the Takaka Shita. Shimono Manakashinga, them foil, them promise of the town and gross in the Quanimun. Nenga Gustra Motoka, Nenga Gustrefins. The Wamu in Omutimo take a pang and the Terego Comunic. 1 month, Canadians, I remember that your first in Pembe, the first in Pickup 3 years. First appointment 1,000 talk time. Every eye. Shopping in a Taika Mozambique Mulinsala. And that's a fact. Mozambique Mulinsala Motiachman. Abantuale Chula. People are suffering. Do you know how many calls I received from back home? We want to call. I want to be what is quoting that I'm going to one and Daddy pass a great day. Now that's what Western Union. Now, I never live on my money, my civil servants. I will put in Sala, but they can't just come out to Kulanda Baleti. Go on and the Bakuim, and never appear for the stuff or under Bakuim, never everybody. But than that, Timpiana. Piana Amabala. Amabala bad piano carry. Yeah, put that mention about PF for bad, you know, they into that's not the subjects we are Ukuram Papano. And my other thing, Mr. Honorable Munir Zulu, when I took from the Pali CADF, that meaning at Chisho Chingachuanjaska Kobushe, Mali Pocket up CDF. Now we are still waiting for the CDF. Because I've seen some other members of UPND, MPs. But let's talk about me. Nadi Morambi start deliver a track. So number ECDF Fungayaba UPND Fiebeka. Because even I'm independent MPs, never more position. They are not representing themselves there, no. Or for their own interest. No. They are representing a bunch of vote daily. So now if UPND government is just giving CDF Kuma MPs about UPND. They are not crucifying other members. But let's choose to vote. Every Musang on say MP or parliament. Next election, I change a ruling party. Why? Because they don't get the full support they should get compared to Nava ruling party, which is not fair. Because that segregation already there. About UPND ever independent party. Am I independent MPs? Who voted for them? Did they bring themselves in parliament? No. The same people you promise that you're gonna do, you're gonna change their lives. They're the same people who voted for these MPs. They need to have the same share at the right time. Because I'm sure Munir Zulu abantu Congress Pamanganda. Honorable Chirishani. Number Alasta Shani Muntu of Indra Shako Ukuwamba and the CDF Foko. How? Let's be serious. We don't know parliament. Take your Pangachimbuya. Take your Musega Muchensa men, okay, for a matai. You don't know for a Jezia Mighty. They are united. I'm going to debate if you are interested. Not to Amkuranga Suti. You don't think we are not the Kumanama Suti. The Kenya want to run the Quaban. We are who are serious non parliament. Pantumandra Quaban, you mean the pen Shavan. I must come and get totally mitimo speed. People are dying. Prostitution in Yapamuru. Buka water full. That's a moment I'm adoption. Niche. Things are not okay. And now if you people you sit tamunenda po ifili fyonse this tapaga ifika chinja even our UPND abene banaba yumfwa it they are PF they are independent naba yumfwa uko bakwenda kumfwa kabati nsala kapondo mai kapondo nsala.
But my son, so we'll be finishing off in Shtayapa. Last comments from Honorable Zulu. Thank you so much, my son. Even the last live video, I probably put a clip for while and the reflector circulate. So, Isa, because if I for diaspora, to Adikula Kalenish to Andila. So we need all of us to join voices and speak with one voice so that our messages, we are not just talking to talk, Pano. You discuss in your languages, in your communities. Yes, Mama?
I thought I could respond.
Abantu banemba comment ati umulumendo mulekeni alande kwa pwirikishe kwati baumfa bwino sana efi alanda so bamye bati pano onofye mwala isala mwimuputula lekeni apwisho okulanda efi alelanda.
Okay, Puisha.
Nato sasa mashika moneka mwandini mwafyachela mutima wala kalipa mutima wala kalipa mwandini. If I remember bantu the way they jubilated in 2021 bantu balitemenwe bitu did I know that batemwene kanshi ninsala ile so forward sichale minga ni forward kunsala. Let's be serious, people. We are dealing with human beings, not timbo. You can't mistreat timbo. Number one, timbo abantu. Awe. Abantu bakwalesa. Alanga wachusha abantu. Nalese chakufiru. Bantu bakwa. Bana bakwalesa. Lelo ture imani nokwe bat newo na am parliament. Let's fulfill and execute. If it was Mr. Honorable Munir, you are a very strong man. You are a very strong man, and I know you stand for what you believe. And please, may God continue blessing you, and we are supporting you. And if they are against you, God is with you.
Thank you.
And the other Zambian people, we will never let you down, mister. We'll be supporting you. But don't forget, always soldier ahead. Don't back down,
Thank you.
man.
No, thank you so much. And permit me to respond to a few last queries that I've taken note of. Mama Chikamoneka, the Zambian budget cycle is 4 years. The UPND did their first budget last year. They've done their second this year. They're doing the next budget in 2023. 2023-2024. 2026, it's not going to be them because we'll go for a general election first and then another budget. Budget comes after the general election. Remember, it's after August. So when you tell people 3 years, when it's 2 years remaining, it's 2024 and 2025. 3 years is a non-starter. 3 years is not possible. If we look at our time frame in which the budget is done, it's 2020. Next year we'll be doing 2024. 2024 will be doing 2025, which will take us into the election. So we only have 2 years. A miracle has to take place. A miracle has to take place. What I do not know is whether we still live in times where miracles do happen, or our miracles are those that come from papas. We have difficult days ahead, but let's brace ourselves for those moments. That's all I can say.
Thank you. We have our brother there. Can you come in quickly before we close? Could you move the new participant?
Okay.
You are very faint. You are very faint.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you speak up, or I don't know?
You can hear me now?
Very
Yes.
thanks.
Okay, Mama Queen Infumi, how are you?
I'm
Mama
good.
Chikamoneka.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Honorable, how are you?
I'm very well, very well. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm okay, thank you. I just wanted to contribute on the MPs.
Mm.
Honorable Munir Zulu, I salute you. You are doing a very good job as a youth in Parliament, and I would love to support you. From the bottom
I'm
of
humbled.
my heart, I follow your page. I'm a very huge follower on your page. I follow what you do. I follow what you post in Parliament. What I would love to say about the Parliament MPs, the people that we vote for as MPs, most of them, they are serious jokers in Parliament. You can't be voted down. You can't be voted by the majority of people to represent the people of Zambia, to represent the people of your constituency. Then you go in Parliament. Honestly, ngefyo besa namkusta campaign ngefu bateba to nkaya mkusta mama kula ku background ndengu itati ngatapa bose ndama votes pama MPs.
Yeah.
On a serious note, they are riding on our weaknesses. They have taken us, the Zambian, the youths, for granted. That were much checks and balances. I wonder if most of them, they know their duties as MPs in Parliament. Because on a serious note, it's work to go to Parliament. What's that? Then after
No kushipula.
No wonder honorable nachumpa sana pali point ya mwachana kwati. You know, most of our debates quite in Parliament. Basa ngusala abantu babiri batatu bali start debate. We can't have progress in such a discussion or in such a debate. We can't progress as a nation. We want 100 and shakuti constituencies in our MPs. Then myself in Parliament, moderator issue per table, only 3 or 2 MPs are able to debate on the issue. No, things must change. Honorable, last week me as a youth, I'm very much I'm touched. I want to be part of this movement. Let's give these people checks and balances. And you know the most hating thing is kula bama youths bambi what today monoka today chulira chapamo, you know, but you find that they are busy supporting these people. Why? What are you gaining? We should have got them palasti. It's not because we are bitter about anything. No. You know, people should not be taken for granted. No, I'm a Zambian for Baba and Kababe Pafe. Once man voted a Sharpwa, you know, shouldn't be like that. No. Omuntu, Sentumu send the Pafi Alanda. Cooking oka one kwacho kwa zinenga na isefita fya kabeta fia fya bako. Ngatosanga coffee to talk of niche wife niche pelele po efi. Warandeta fya kabeko. Cash na makampeni bale randa chinenga mwamvotera mkampeleko 2 years zero nkesa chinje fintu. Inenga mwamvotera mkampeleko 3 years zero nkesa chinje fintu. Bale randa na makampeni. Not to ulesa mkulanda fe fintu ya kwa walanda lero my right no acho kwa la lo trading lero mlando wakwebati nile sana mona minshitakuti anga desa isa mushari mwili ashiri no mwezo tamkwetu kumbura molisa mtati ya msango
Lesa you maybe that can export 2,000 megawatts electricity to your neighbors. Did God tell them that? You people want to be a share. Hello, let me reserve my comments.
That's why, honorable, please, honorable, I'm very much reading. Please use me, utilize me. I'm available. Let's work together. Sentende chapa mama kunivumi like batanda ba honorable ba Munir Zulu. But the traffic of no platform like yeah. Physically, for the upper ground. For the upper ground, no money for the end. Because it's like this issue of medicine in hospitals. Some people nga bale bebakwati misita muli mufupatala tafira mfuika, you know. It's like lyashferi lifipamwera.
You know, but you know, my son, but you know, Zambian politicians are used of taking advantage of the Zambian people. They come and they shamelessly lie, and they have cheerleaders, Ama worshippers cheering them. That's why I'm appealing to say, today I'm challenging every Zambian youth, stand up for your right. Be like Honorable Munir Zulu. Let's move Zambia forward. Zambia will not develop by cheering things, by cheering fake promises. What time? The budget is halfway through. The money is released from Bank of Zambia. But where is the money going? So are they telling us the budget is a sham? Are they really telling us the budget is a sham? Because there were hefty budgets released in the last 2 years. We are not seeing the money pouring in the economy. Everyone should be upset and demand the answers. Why are things not adding up? Why?
Many Zambians should be upset on a serious note.
Yes.
No, things are not okay. That we must accept.
We can't accept it. Budget so much dollars. When we come to the ground, it is zero, not one. I didn't want a job. I want a business in Zambia. How can I make a business in Zambia when people have no money to buy my goods?
You know, you can't progress. You can't progress. You can't make any progress. Make business in such a situation. You can't. So honorable, otherwise.
Oh, totally. And I love to listen. I've listened to a lot.
Sure.
And I only hope that the owners of that platform will attempt to invite us again.
Sure.
So that we continue interacting. Where we can, we are available for any queries at any given time.
We need, if we are nobodies, me Pumulos Tumbeko, I am a nobody. I am just a person who cares for the people. But people like you, when you speak, you have followers. You have people who have given you the mandate to speak for them.
Sure.
So I think you already have a huge social media presence. But when we partner up, we maybe after the holidays, we can just start full force encouraging people, because a lot of people, they are intimidated. There's a lot of intimidations. People are scared.
A lot of them
So if we can step up and encourage people, people died for us to enjoy these freedoms we are enjoying in these countries. So why can't we sacrifice and build our own country? Zambia is a rich country in the land that you say. ZCCM must be disbanded. The board of directors at ZCCM must go. What they are doing to this country is criminal. But ZCCM, ZSCO management must go.
Any partnership meant well for the Zambian people, count me in.
But ZCCM, what are you doing by ZCCM? Emerald mines, Zambia has the biggest emerald mines in the whole world. We are getting 25% from that. Can you imagine? 60 years of independence. You know where the Kajam, China man, she Kajam, we owe it. China man, she, wake up, Zambia, wake up. Enough is enough. Yes, Mama.
See, there's a comment. He comments, okay, kuri comments kuri ba Musonda Sefuke. I think you can read the comment. They will come and investigate you. Just keep your money, Mama.
Achishani.
Ati. Okay, ba Musonda Sefuke. Balanda ati, they will come and investigate you. Just keep your money
We work for the mission. I'm a poor person because when Eli Mutu was the lawyer we engaged to pay us money, 51 million of my money disappeared. So if they investigate me, they find that the government owes me 10 million kwacha, which I'm waiting for them to pay me. 10 million kwacha and more if we put interest for 23 years. I have no money. I'm a poor person. Twice, we do survival jobs. We work paycheck to paycheck. I am not a 2D more. I am not. I don't never 2D more. Never 2D more. I won't talk here because I know that I am rolling dirty. They'll come and catch me. So if you're rolling dirty, because now we're talking about the investigating. No, I am clean. In fact, but GRZ owe me money. GRZ pay me my 10 million money. Please.
No, I'm looking forward to the next invite. For now, I wish you guys Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Prosperous 2023.
Yes, we shall investigate each other, bring it on. And 2026, singate 2026, tukaita investigate amajele yalerorera. Bakuli na majele yanyu. Because there are new criminals being added to the list every day. Please.
No, I'm humble.
Honorable Patabala, I am quite indifferent to Kulanda Commercial. No. Honorable, na chifuni mama matipa bachikatako bachirando kutira bushe yama hotel yama MPs ilia hotel wakujaida yama MPs ilia hotel statement ni sheko ero chimbi mila kokora sana baona ngamula kuma constituencies yenu mwaya mkukokola kulia parliament hotel ngamwa kokola kulia no mechi ashala ni shuchene no bawafula tampo fwampla ma AK47 so
families, not if you feel like
listen. Mule send our Kashmir Moya Parliament Motel so that we have one plama AK47. Now my instrument of Muja. Now my instrument of power. So cash mule send our cash. Mwilaya mweko pia mkufua plama ama instrument of power munga ndayama kuja parliament hotel imbobo kwisa neko no kwisa seko ruseko watu ni pawa pocha pakini ndeke yama ule
Awe iyo ili ashaike 47 sharandepo.
Mama, the floor is yours. We are closing. We are going.
Thank you, ladies. For me, I just wish to thank, honestly, Honorable Munir Zulu. Really, thank you so much. I am on my knees. I thank you for picking up my call and agreeing to come on this program. Your knowledge and wisdom has been appreciated by all our viewers, and I'm sure a lot of them would have loved to ask you questions. They have burning issues, and I'm glad that you have said you are ready to come and join us again on this platform to continue participating and sharing the wisdom and the knowledge that the people of Lumezi have entrusted in you to share with the entire nation. Honestly, Tepashiri Pakuleka, we look forward to your continuing to work for us all, and not only the people of Lumezi. We look up to you, And we hope that you will make good decisions, you will make good policies that will benefit the entire Zambians. It hurts us to know that people are not able to access ARVs today. And for Mama Maria to say, no, let's give these people 3 more years, I say no, a very big no. I did say it even before. I said, Kanshi, iyo 3 years mulefu ukubapela, mukaya mukubusha, abantu abafuire nomba tibukeni. The government now has started operating okay. Iyo 3 years, tatula ifwaya twaikana. Lastly, on a very, very disappointing point, I'm sorry, Queen Mpumi, that I'll have to bring this. Honorable Cornelius Mwetwa was on the media yesterday, and he said ZESCO has given a report to ERB. Among the things that ZESCO has given to ERB, he has said the dam levels has reached extremely low levels. And if there is no mitigation measures put in place, the nation will actually experience more than 6 hours of load shedding. So we'll be expecting something like 11 to 12 hours. So when they have a look at these recommendations, there'll come a time that the government will give a proposal that there should be a tariff-like plan. So what he is saying, if the electricity is increased, we will now be paying electricity according to where we domicile or where we live. So if you live in Kabulonga, you will be paying higher rates. If you live in Chibolia, Mutendere, Kalingalinga, you will pay lower rates. And he gives an example to say, the same has happened with pay as you earn. And I said, what a pathetic example, because how can you give pay as you earn to the way you're going to distribute the tariff of electricity? You know, the earning today is not guaranteed. There are a lot of businessmen and women. Pay as you earn is attached to what you earn. And whereas electricity tariffs should now be attached to where you live, does where you live now tell the people, this government, that if you live in Kabulonga, you must have a lot of money? Mind you, a lot of people bought houses in Kabulonga, Woodlands, and all these affluent areas many years ago. You know, today they are old men and women who are retired. Should we sell our houses in these affluent areas to go and live in Kalingalinga in order to enjoy electricity? I want to say, shame on you, Honorable Cornelius Mwetwa. Sometimes when you come on a media platform and give checks and balances, you need to think at how you put yourself across and make comparisons. It is just not acceptable. And that's why, Honorable Munir Zulu, we need you to go out there in Parliament and give these justifiable checks and balances. We depend on you. We look up to you. Thank you very much for accepting this invitation. And may God richly bless you.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Matipa. I just want to say to Mr. Cornelius Mwetwa to say, before they touch increasing any more tariffs on Zambians, let them stop exporting power. Chapwa. Because who is getting the money from the exports? We hear that they are getting hefty payments for this power they are exporting. So, Zambia before you start again is squeezing us more, stop exporting power. Mama, come on, the floor is yours.
I think it is Valanda Vamatipariansi Anyway, because I want to have Navalala. So Mukalete Lidia Shika Wekere for at least 15 hours. nangu 20 hours so that abantu abengi bakati participate ili byashufika obubi ili balanda bamama matipa kutila abafyashi beso efyo batiranda amashu yakutila abena Zambia balatitikishiwa na kabili ero kabili finalanda fyakwe bati mwina Zambia shuwa kwatenda hawa mu Zambia mwina pantoba kwatenda hawa mu cha Zambia ma foreigners abekala muma ibex abekala muma chala ma parklands ma riverside ma foreigners bekala abena Zambia abekala muma shanty compound pantaba kwatenda lama abena Zambia nangu muma mo baya mukulia mashawa na mapai na mapizza abena Zambia abengita bayabo abasangwa mukulia efisuma mu Zambia ma foreigners shuwa mwa bantu bakwale so butushibule tula abantu kuti mwaya balundi lendalama ine wine mama chika mpapano ushikwate na light munganda ndiye wonfya ka ring light na power bank ani kwate akushika ma light no manga mwandundi na mala nkabila shani kaladi ya shani mwe bantu bakwalesa abena Zambia balechula na mumona mukukanali la de umwa umepakulila ishina chikosi umwa umetalila lila nalila ewa kwata nenda la mali na kwa bena Zambia nefilema na mwishiba amashu ya mo bifota tulayaleta ku cyalo tureyipusha ine ba mwarenje bakali ati bifota ulela makano mulela mo tunwa pantu tunwa twenu tutukamileterera ala mwaitire mpashishamu kuba ati kwele ati nde puento yo kwele ati nde puento yo kashara ipomwi kwele ati nde puento yo kashara ipomwi kwa papata ile tamulalanda efisyon se kubantu fest mufile mo ayipusha kushe finala na kubena zindala temwa nangu tebatemene elo mone ifintu fimo ambi okuyipusha bena Zambia aya mashwina landa bakwini mpumi akula no kwena nalanda mashu yako bati ili kukesa ba campaign tatulefwayo okesa na ma promises ya bufi na ma manifesto ya bufi ukesa ukaba muchalo cha Zambia kisa teke chalo ekalanda ku manifesto ya kwa kala niba tumwe na Zambia amana yonse nkalapo kwa kuli imwe twala teke chalo fantu amana kwa titikisha sana sambu ya bamu dunia mbuya wandi hii system hii ya kwa batinga abena Zambia bamipere nchito gwino filia muikere mule ya mule kutafya lande bachiruba ati mubalebe nyabale ikuta bale botolo tufumo ngotu mbili twamwela ewo kabili mwa batungu nyamufana kabili bamba okuikuta filia mule ikuta abena Zambia tabale ikuta abena Zambia bale ikuta ulio mulumendo ulile nali letishinka ifi alanda ba Munir Zulu abalande fishinka ifi alanda ba kwini mpubi balande fishinka mwe umfa batuliyemo baputi batuliyemo baputi ifi alanda ba mama matipa fishinka so sambile nipo pichimo pantu twala po ingitona ba epo na kwelesha pe.
Last words, Honorable Munir, we have to let you go. Last words.
No, I'm humbled that you colleagues hosted me purely because of the passion you have for the country. And all I can encourage is be strong and may God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Matipa, last comments?
Thank you, ladies. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. As we enter the New Year, we pray and hope that things will be better. Thank you.
Amen, amen. So in closing, we thank God for this day to pass because it's like a completion. Like this year is a landmark because we are closing this year. Hopefully, God willing, this is a platform we have created, a runway to take off next year strong. So as we close this year, young people, God has just made it possible for us to host our young, vibrant member of parliament who is a role model. He's a trailblazer. People need to watch this video. Share it. I have a YouTube channel. I will post it. Zambia, this is your country. Look to Munir. For me, I look to Munir to see if we can have Zoom meetings. He can be a coach to young people to train them and prepare for 2026. In life, in the West where I have lived, they achieve what they do through planning. In Zambia, this is a new concept we have to start doing, is planning for the future. If we want to plan for our youth to take over government and to deliver and develop Zambia, we have to deliver, we have to start planning and preparing youths. And Munir is the best person who can be a coach. We as mothers here, we will protect you. We as mothers are here to protect you, to make sure if someone wants to attack you, we will fight for you. We are mama bears. So Munir and other youths, come together, put your heads together. We need more. Actually, 2026 to be full of youths, 100% youths and mothers. This is my dream for me for 2026. And I think the pieces are falling in place because God has enabled me to connect with you. And I thank you so much. I thank for your people who voted you, because the people in your constituency are ahead of time. They elected somebody young for a reason. And I think all the other 156 constituents in Zambia should emulate Lumezi, and Zambia will go forward.
Now, before I say goodbye, I just want to comfort you. I appreciate that you are willing to protect me. But I want you to go and watch a movie done by John Wick. When they killed his dog, he told his son to say, we used to call,
I've seen it. Yes.
Baba Yaga.
Yes.
John Wick was called Baba Yaga.
Yes.
So call me Baba Yaga. Good night.
Good night, people. Thank you, thank you. God bless. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Love you too.
Subscribe to my
Bye-bye.
YouTube channel.
Good
Catch up
night,
on
good
all the
night,
shows.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Good night.